In the case of this rhythm, the beginning of YYZ, the Morse code from Toronto Airport, the three-limb ostinato is going to be happening between the ride cymbal, the snare drum, and the bass drum. Now, this doesn't happen in the YYZ song. This is just taking that intro rhythm and turning it into an exercise for polymetric coordination. And so here's what we're going to do. Let's first, what I did was, we have ding, do, dun, 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 do, dun, 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 do, do, dun. That's the first phrase. And as you remember in the Rush tune, there's a chord. There's like a little melody happening. That melody I extended to be a 6-measure long phrase. That way we could start incorporating some dotted eighth notes eventually. So it's a 6-measure long phrase of ding, da, ding, 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 da, ding, 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 da, da, one. Right, that. So let's do this. Let's play 4 repetitions of that 6-measure long phrase just on the ride cymbal, just to get that pattern happening. Ding, da, ding, 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 da, ding, 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 da, da. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. Now, for starters, before we get really crazy with the kick and snare pattern, let's just keep it right on the quarter note beat, right on the pulse. We're going to play 1 on the kick, 2 on the snare, 3 on the kick, 4, 5 on the snare. Boom, bop, boom, bop, bop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just listen to the YYZ phrase, 6-measure long phrase, while we play just that quarter note groove. We'll do 4 repetitions of the 6-measure long phrase. Okay? Here we go. Okay, now we're going to, now this might take some coordination, we're going to play that same groove with a kick and the snare, but we're going to add the ride cymbal, bing, ba, bing, bing, bang, ba, bum, 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 blah, blah, with the groove. Same process, the 6-measure long phrase, 4 times. Here we go. Okay, great. Now that you have that, and you've probably had to work on it a little bit, it took me some time to get that happening. So make sure you've got that super solid, because that's just the ostinato. Now we get to focus on the actual portion of the exercise that has the movement, the left foot. This is a left foot focused drum mantra groove meditation. So we're just going to go through all the permutations of single note placement with the left foot, starting with quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we're going to play the 3-limb ostinato groove that we just worked on, and we're going to play quarter notes with the left foot. We're going to do the 6-measure pattern 4 times in a row. Here we go. Okay, now is when things are going to get a little crazy, because we're going to move the hi-hat to the E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a, with that groove. This could take some time. Have some patience. Focus on the coordination. Let it develop. This might be as far as you get today. Keep working on it though, because it's so much fun to play the final performance. So stick with it. Here's the example. 6-measure phrase 4 times. Here we go. Okay, good. This is going to feel like we ease up a little bit on the complexity, on the difficulty level, because the hi-hat is now going to play ands. And that's a pretty common place to put the hi-hat, ands. So same thing, 4 repetitions of the 6-measure long phrase. Here we go. Okay, great. Now, back to challenging. We're going to move the hi-hat to the uhs. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a. All right? Here we go. Okay, good. You get a little break now because now the hi-hat's going to just crank out eighth notes the whole time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. Along with the groove ostinato. 6 measure long phrase, 4 repetitions. Here we go. All right, this one might feel a little off kilter because we're going to now play the E's and Uhs with the hi-hat. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. All right, same thing, 6 measure long phrase, 4 repetitions. Here we go. Okay, good. Now the hi-hat is just going to double the snare drum. So we're going to play the hi-hat on beats 2, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right along with the snare drum. Here we go. Excellent. These final two are heavy, okay? The groove is going to stay the same. The hi-hat is now going to play every 5th 16th note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a. The way to remember every 5th 16th note is 1, and then beat 2 would be 1 E and would be the 5th one. So we want to go one further. So you're going to play the downbeat, the E of 2, the and of 3, the of 4, and nothing on 5. That's every 5th 16th note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a. Okay? If you get this right off the bat, you're a wizard because it's hard. All right? Let's try it. Work on it a lot. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth to get your body understanding these motions because it just simplifies the process of expressing yourself more comfortably when your body has mastered more complex coordination and more complex motion. And if you're not playing music that requires complex coordination, if you're just playing nice pocket stuff, it's going to feel so much deeper because your body understands more. So a fat pocket is going to sound nice and solid and fat, and the time's going to be better because your body understands movement better. Okay, so all this stuff really, to me, goes towards playing pocket better. Really. I mean, it's fun to do these kinds of exercises, but the purpose is to make our bodies be more in control of movement, muscle memory, so when we play our gigs, we are very comfortable when we play. We can play with more authority. Okay? Here's the exercise. Good luck. Okay, this is the final one in part 1 of this series. This is why we do the 6 measure long phrase, because the left foot is now going to be dotted 8th notes, which is a 3-note grouping of 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a 1 E. So one time through, when we get back to 1, the hi-hat is not on the downbeat. So we've got to do 3 repetitions of that cycle for the hi-hat to be back on the downbeat. And just to make it a longer phrase, we're going to do it twice. So the 6 measure phrase exists solely for this final dotted 8th note with the left foot. All right? Good luck. Here we go. So the performance of part one is you play each of these permutations one time through the 6-bar cycle. So quarter notes, E's, ands, us, all the eighth notes, E's and us, 2, 4, and 5, every 5th, 16th note, and dotted eighth notes. And you just do 6 bars. Every 6 bars, your left foot changes to the new permutation. So you do all 9 permutations in a row. Here's performance of part one. Enjoy.